Hi everyone and welcome back. This video has definitely been a long time coming.
Yes, it has. It's been, I don't even know how long it's been since we've actually done a video sitting down together and not moon exercise. But as you'll notice, we have brand new camera, thanks to my daughter and son-in-law. And we got rid of the towels, thanks to my daughter and son-in-law, because they got us blackout stuff for the windows, which is why we had to have those up in the first place.
Right.
Because when we first started doing this, it just wasn't possible to tape anything because the direction and the sunlight coming in was just
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unbelievably distracting. It was causing so many problems, not just with visuals, but with audio. I mean, it was causing so many
Oh yeah, it was messing with our audio like mad, but
Yep.
our visuals also, we ended up looking like light beams on camera.
Yes. Yes. Or very pale people.
Yes.
Unbelievably pale people. But we left off, essentially, as far as exercises going, we left off with the endocrine glands. We gave a discussion about what they are, but we never gave you any exercises to do to feel them out. Now, part of that didn't have anything to do with our window situation. Part of that had to do with how we were going to do it. And I've come to the decision that I'm not going to do anything with hormones. I don't want people releasing hormones in their bodies through their endocrine glands because that could have deadly consequences. It could the physical problems it's just not worth it.
No.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys go through the exercises of just moving blood through the endocrine glands, utilizing the heart as the hub that it starts with. And it's going to go up to the hypothalamus, and it's going to go to the pineal gland, and it's going to go to the pituitary gland, and it's going to go to the thyroid and parathyroid, and it's going to go to the thymus, and it's going to go to the pancreas. Okay, then it's going to go to the adrenals, then it's going to go to, whether you're male or female, the ovaries or the testes, and then right back to the heart. What these exercises are focusing on are location, so that you know where the glands are, and you start feeling where they are by the blood flow going through them. And also, I guess an added benefit is going to be if you've got blockages with your blood flow to any of these glands. And if you do, again, go see a medical practitioner if you're having issues in that area. Otherwise, what I want you to do is just feel the blood moving, feel it flowing through, feel it flowing into the gland, which means you're going to have to feel the gland, moving its way down, all the way down, and then back up, almost like the same type of a circuit that we do when we do the chakra circuits.
Right.
Okay. For the moon meditations. Okay. The first one, as far as feeling it, will probably, because you and I talked about this, you brought this up earlier, the pineal gland. It's connected to the third eye and the brow chakra. It's the one that we know that we use on the moon exercises, the moon ceremonies.
Well, certainly for the brain, the ones in the brain,
Yeah.
the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal, that's the easiest one to locate.
Yeah, it's
Because
easy to
it is-
locate, but it's also the first ones that the heart's going to pump the blood to.
Right.
Because we're going to start at the top and go down.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's probably going to be easier to feel the pineal than it will be the hypothalamus.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're not starting with the hypothalamus. It's like, okay, I got to feel this thing. However, being connected to your third eye and your brow chakra, and the fact that for you people who have been doing the moon ceremonies, you should already feel the connection there.
Mm-hmm.
And with the chakras, we didn't start using with the endocrine glands, but we've moved into that. So now we always do the third eye, brow chakra, pineal. And then the energy goes from there depending on the chart. But yeah, so that's how we're going to do the exercises. As you brought up earlier when we were discussing this, about giving people locations first
Yes,
and
absolutely.
how the flow goes. So there's 3 that are located in the brain, and they're in a cluster, almost.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's actually at the top is the hypothalamus. Okay. The next one is the pineal gland, and then you have the pituitary gland, but they're really close. The difference is the pineal gland is located further back. The pituitary gland is located a little bit forward, and then the hypothalamus is like almost in. It's closer to the pituitary than the pineal, and it's a little above both. Okay. Then from there we go to the thyroid. Thyroid's easy. It's right smack dab at the base of your throat, kind of where your Adam's apple,
Right,
where
right.
a male is. Now, the parathyroids are going to be a little difficult because they sit on top of the thyroid, and there's 4 of them. 2 top, 2 bottom.
Right, right.
Okay, that's going to require a bit of visualization on those because I've been doing these type of exercises for a while, and there's no possible way that you can you can tell the difference between your parathyroid and your thyroid when you're doing these. So that's going to require visualization while you're going through it, just to see it. Okay. Now, top of your sternum. Okay, that's where the thymus is located. Okay. Then we're moving down to the abdomen. Okay, you got your pancreas, which is at the stomach, but it's solar plexus. It's behind the solar plexus, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And for anybody again who's been working the chakra circuits, it should be an easier one for you because you've been working the solar plexus. Okay, and it lines up with it. Okay. From there, we're going to the adrenal glands. They sit on the top of the kidneys. Okay. Everybody knows your kidneys. Everybody's had a little pain there every once in a while.
Right, right.
Okay. Anybody with kidney stones know where your kidneys are. Because you get that, oh my goodness, in the lower back. Okay. From there, we move to, if you're male, testes, if you're female, ovaries. And from there, it's going to flow to the heart, where we're going to start it in the beginning. From the heart, we're going to go to the hypothalamus, move it up to the hypothalamus, and go down from there. And that's how we're going to do it. Okay? And again, all we're looking for is good blood flow. That's it. Okay? And feeling, or trying to feel the endocrine glands as you're moving the blood through them.
Absolutely.
It may take some time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It may take visualization in the beginning, and I would recommend that. So, unfortunately, that means working the fundamentals. For a lot of you people that don't like working the fundamentals.
Yes, absolutely.
I enjoy working the fundamentals, but I'm kind of strange.
Oh, they're
So.
well, they're a blast, and they help with so much.
They do help with a
They
lot.
really do.
But when you first start doing them, they can be very,
Well, they can be very tedious,
yes.
or put you to sleep, or both.
Yep. Yes, and your mind is fighting it the entire time. So.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're essentially taking control back from your mind, and your mind doesn't want to give the control up.
Right, right.
So it gets quite bored and wants to do other things, especially in the world today, because of the mental stimulation is ridiculous right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially because of the internet and the phones and tablets and everything that you got out there that's electronic that just gives you instant stimulation, instant gratification, and
Right, right. That's what makes them even more important.
oh yeah,
Unbelievably important.
yeah,
To
especially
be
today.
able to unplug and slow down that mental stimulation.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It gets you into a relaxed state. It gets you deeper in touch with your true self and the spiritual aspects of yourself, because the outside stimuli that we have now doesn't do any of that. I don't even care if you're doing meditations.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the same as turning it off.
Well, meditation is extremely difficult if you can't slow your mind down.
It is. But there are too many of those out there on the net. YouTube, you can find all these meditations, you know.
Oh yeah, I've absolutely done it.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to a place now where I can sit and meditate on my own.
Right, and it's much better when you sit and meditate on your own rather than doing it through a YouTube video or whatever the freaking crazy numbers that they come up with as far as you need to vibrate at this and that. everything vibrates at different frequencies, especially when you're talking about chakras, because they're all colors, and all colors vibrate at different frequencies. So there is not one key, awesome, great frequency. It doesn't work that way. But anyway, let's not get into that. Let's get into these exercises. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do when you do these is I want you to sit down. I don't want you lying down when you do these. I don't want you standing up when you do these. Mm-hmm. I want you sitting. And when you first start doing them, I don't want you doing them alone. I want you to do them with somebody else home. In case, accidentally, through visualization or whatever, you do something that has hormone complications. Yeah. So that somebody else is there. Because remember, if you haven't done these before, it's not a good thing to be so confident that you're like, oh, I got this. I can do this without having a problem. It's just blood flow. Well, yeah, okay. But blood flow is where the hormones flow through. So we don't want to accidentally release some that we shouldn't be when you're doing these exercises. Okay? So that's the big thing. I want you to keep in the back of your mind, no hormonal releasement. So, for those of you who do the fundamentals, before you start doing these exercises, for at least 2 days, I want you to do the focusing exercises. I want you to do the void exercises, or absence exercises, however you want to look at them. And then I want you to do the fourth exercise, which is the mental command. But the mental command is not going to release hormones with the endocrine gland exercises, and train your brain to do that. That's just a safety net, so that it doesn't accidentally happen while you're doing it. You know, and anybody is prone to getting too caught up in a meditation. And I'm bringing that up because of him.
It is very easy to do, especially when you first start working metaphysically.
Yes, or if you leave your headphones on and fall asleep during a 12-hour meditation. Which you did.
And sleep for, and sleep for 15 hours, so you picked up a second one along the way.
Yeah. So, yes. So,
energy overload is a very real thing.
Yes.
Metaphysically.
Yes, and you don't want to do those things. Yes. That was
just speaking from experience.
Just one time, though. You only did it once. So
I only did it once, thankfully. But the energetic overwhelm was building.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It was building because I was having too much fun, and I'm like, I want more. I was jonesing for more.
Yes.
Without having adequately prepared my body and myself for that level of energy.
Right. Well, not to mention you were also working fire exercises at the same time.
Yes.
You just started doing that.
Yep, I had just started doing that. And
that goes back to something, though. Another cautionary tale. You were jonesing so bad because your mind was trying to replace the mental stimulation with the energetic stimulation.
Right.
And it wanted more and more and more and more and more. And though your brain can take that kind of stuff, energetically your body and your systems can't. And that's the problem. You can't look at it the same way or you're going to end up in serious trouble. So anyway, getting back to the exercises here. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Fundamentals. Bam. Do the command. Then, when you're doing it, sit. Feet flat on the floor. Okay? If you're wearing shoes, kick them off when you do these. Okay? Wiggle your toe. Make sure your back is straight. Okay? Then I want you to just take in a nice deep breath. Hold it and release it. Release all the tension of the day with it. Another deep breath. Hold it and release. One more deep breath. Hold it and release. Develop a nice, normal breathing rhythm. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Again. Continue. Now I want you to close your eyes. I want you to visualize your heart. I want you to visualize it pumping. Blood coming into it, blood going out of it. As it pumps, in and out. I want you to feel it. There is a subtle feeling. Your heart pumping. Focus on that. On the next flowing out. Follow it up into the brain. Visualize the hypothalamus. Feel it and visualize it filling with blood. Once full, allow it to flow out. Follow it back down into the heart. Come back up into the hypothalamus. Look for irregularities. Make sure that the speed of the flow is constant. We don't want it to slow down. We don't want it to speed up. We want it to remain constant. Let it flow back down. Follow it. Go back up. Fill it with blood again. Allow the blood to flow back down. Next one, you're going to go up into the hypothalamus. Allow it to fill. As you release it, allow the blood to go right into the pineal gland. As you do this, and your pineal gland is filling up, I want you to feel the pressure on your third eye. As soon as the pineal gland is full, I want you to follow that releasement of blood back down into the heart. Come back up into the pineal gland. Feel that pressure again on the third eye. Once full, release it back down into the heart. Come back up. Fill that pineal gland again. Continue to feel the pressure on the third eye when you do it. Now as you release it, allow it to flow right into the pituitary gland. Allow your pituitary gland to fill up. Again, looking for any irregularities. Make sure the speed is constant. Follow the flow back down into the heart. Come right back up into the hypothalamus. Back into the pineal gland. Feel the pressure. Go down into the pituitary gland. Allow that to fill. Release it. Come right back down to the heart. Once more, follow that blood flow up into the hypothalamus. Then into the pineal gland. Feeling the pressure. Down to the pituitary gland. Now we're going to follow it into the thyroid. Thyroid is located right where your Adam's apple would be. Allow it to fill up. Again, follow the flow out, back down into the heart, and then up again into the hypothalamus. From the hypothalamus into the pineal. From the pineal into the pituitary. From the pituitary into the thyroid. And then back down into the heart. Again, follow that flow right up into the hypothalamus. Then into the pineal gland. Feel the pressure. Down to the pituitary gland. Into the thyroid. Again, make sure there are no irregularities. Constant speed, constant flow. Then back down to the heart, back up into the hypothalamus, to the pineal gland, feel the pressure, and down to the pituitary gland, into the thyroid, and now I need you to visualize the parathyroid glands. On top of the thyroid, there are 4 of them, 2 upper, 2 lower. Feel those fill up. Let them fill, then release it back down into the heart. Again, back up into the hypothalamus. and into the pineal gland, feeling the pressure, to the pituitary gland, down to the thyroid, into the parathyroids, back down into the heart. Follow the flow up once again, up to the hypothalamus, into the pineal gland, then the pituitary gland, down to the thyroid, into the parathyroid glands, and now you're going to follow that blood flow down into the thymus, which is located at the top of the sternum. Allow it to fill up. Again, feel for any irregularities. Once it's filled up, let it flow down back into the heart. Allow the heart to pump it again, up into the hypothalamus, then into the pineal gland. Feel the pressure, down to the pituitary gland, and down to the thyroid. Feel the parathyroids fill up, release the parathyroids blood into the thymus. Allow that to fill, and now we're going to release that again back down into the heart. Again, follow that flow all the way up into the hypothalamus, then into the pineal gland, feeling the pressure, and down to the pituitary gland, then into the thyroid, and feel the parathyroids filling up. Release the parathyroid blood into the thymus, and then from the thymus, we're going to move all the way down to the solar plexus area into the pancreas. Allow that pancreas to fill up. Again, looking for any irregularities while you're doing this. Then follow that blood flow right back to the heart. And we're going to move it right back up to the hypothalamus, into the pineal gland. Feel the pressure. To the pituitary gland. Down to the thyroid, filling the parathyroid glands. Then down to the thymus, and all the way down to the pancreas. And from the pancreas, back into the heart. Follow the flow one more time up until the hypothalamus. Again into the pineal. Feel the pressure. Down to the pituitary. Down into the thyroid. Filling the parathyroids. Down into the thymus. All the way down into the pancreas. And now we're going to move into the adrenal glands, which sit right on top of your kidneys. Allow those to fill. Once full, again, release back into the heart. From the heart again, up to the hypothalamus. From the hypothalamus into the pineal glands. Feel the pressure to the pituitary, down to the thyroid. Feel the parathyroids fill up. And follow that down to the thymus, allowing that to fill up. Down to the pancreas, allowing the pancreas to fill up. And from there into the adrenal glands. And then, again, back to the heart. Keep looking for those and feeling those irregularities, if any. Follow that flow right back up into the hypothalamus, to the pineal gland. Feel the pressure into the pituitary gland, down to the thyroid. Feel the parathyroids fill up, then down to the thymus. Let that fill. Let it flow from there into the pancreas. Let the pancreas fill. As the pancreas fills, let the blood flow into the adrenal glands. From the adrenal glands, we are now going to go into, if you're male, the testes. If you're female, your ovaries. Feel them fill up with blood. Again, look for any irregularities and follow that flow right back to the heart. And from the heart to the hypothalamus, into the pineal gland. Feel the pressure on your third eye, down to the pituitary gland. From there, down to the thyroid. And then allow the parathyroids to fill up. From the parathyroids, down to the thymus. From the thymus, down to the pancreas. From the pancreas to the adrenals, from the adrenals into the testes or the ovaries, and back to the heart. Continue this flow. This is the exercise. Allow that flow to continue. Keep moving it. Keep feeling that pressure when it gets into the pineal gland on the third eye, try to feel every single one of those adrenal glands filling up and then releasing it back. And feel it going back to the heart. And feel that heart acting as a hub and moving all of that blood flow from the heart up into the glands, cascading it down into all of the other glands and back into the heart. Continue this flow. Doesn't matter how long you do this exercise for. I wouldn't go more than, in the beginning, 10 minutes. Once you've created the circuit. When you're ready to come out, take your focus off the adrenals. Put all of your focus just into the heart, feeling the beat, visualizing the pump, the blood flowing. Allow your focus to diminish off the heart pumping. Continue to breathe. Don't worry about the flow. Don't worry about any irregularities at this point. Taking a deep breath. Hold it. Now release it. Another deep breath. Hold it. Release it. One more deep breath. Hold it. Release it. Okay. Again, develop a nice, steady breathing rhythm. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your toes. Wiggle them. Feel your fingers. Wiggle those. Allow yourself to come back. When you're ready, open your eyes. Okay. You're going to want to keep a journal probably when you're doing these. Write down any irregularities that you feel, if you pick up any. If you didn't feel any of your endocrine glands, okay, don't worry about it. Work on visualizing first, feeling second. You'll get to where you can feel them.
Mm-hmm.
You will.
Absolutely.
The more you do the exercises.
Yeah.
Okay. And you should, by now, be able to feel the pressure on the third eye.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the pineal gland itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where all our stuff comes from. This is going to help the moon ceremonies quite a bit as you do these exercises. Because, again, all the planetary energies are flowing through chakras. The chakras are all flowing through your adrenal glands. I don't want to get into that as far as these exercises go. We will go and have some intermediate endocrine gland exercises next, where we bring in focusing on chakras as they relate to them, the planets as they relate to them, the sign energy as it relates to them. It's going to be a building block. Mm-hmm. This is step one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I don't want you to start any of the other exercises once we put them up until you've gotten to the point where you've gone past visualization into feeling the endocrine glands. Otherwise, it's a building exercises is what these are doing. If you don't get to the first stage, it's going to be really difficult to understand the next stage. And then the next stage after that, and feel it, which is what you want to get to. For some of you, it might be very easy feeling them in the first place. For others, it might not. The more you do them, the better you're going to get, the quicker you're going to feel them. Again, I wouldn't do these for more, or hold these for more than 10 minutes after you've created the circuit. That can create headaches, and it doesn't do anybody any good. After you've held it for 10 minutes for I don't know, let's say a week of doing these, add 5 minutes. And you can add 5 more minutes. I wouldn't go past a half an hour on these exercises.
No, certainly not with the blood flow. There's no reason to go past a half hour.
No. Now, one thing that might happen is you may feel heated when you're done. As you're moving the blood through you. You might heat up a little bit.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you do, when you're done, drink a glass of water, Gatorade, whatever you need, replenish yourself, and go. You shouldn't be that unreplenished, though. You're not really doing a whole lot. But water might help.
Water will probably help. I don't
But if
foresee
you're not doing
too much of an overheating effect with these, as you mentioned. These are primarily air exercises right now.
They are. However, your blood flow can start heating your body up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the only thing. And you are moving energy. So sometimes you might get a little weird.
Right.
Feeling when you're done. Okay.
Yeah. Certainly.
Okay. But again, document anything strange that you might feel. Any irregularities. If you felt the blood flow either slowing down or speeding up, document that down too. If it continues as you're doing these exercises, then you may want to go get checked out.
Right.
Professional.
I would give it a couple times.
Oh yeah, because the first time it may not be what you think it is. It might be your mind. Your mind will do that to you too.
Right.
I think that's getting slower. We do that to ourselves. Not to mention that your mind might try to fight you on these too. Because again, it wants to be in control, and in doing all of these exercises, you're taking the control back from your mind.
Right.
And your mind will try to get you paranoid and anything that it can do to try to get you to stop doing these. So I would say do the exercises for at least 4 or 5 days, if not a week. Then if you feel, again, an irregularity, go in and get checked.
Right. And the pace doesn't necessarily impact anything. My pace going through the glands just now was a little bit slower than what you were leading through.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody's going to have their own pace. I mean, nobody's...
Yeah, no.
Everybody's going to have their own.
You don't necessarily have to worry about the pace.
That's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all, as far as the pace is concerned.
Yeah.
No.
But again, it's like meditation, your own meditation practice. Your pace is going to be your pace.
Well, yeah, it is, and it's all about your energy too.
Mm-hmm.
You're a lot of earth, I'm a lot of fire. So yeah, my pace is probably a little quicker than yours.
Right.
How that's going to work.
Yeah.
But again, document anything and everything that you feel in these. Okay. If you feel a little weird when you come out of them, that's okay. A lot of people do. I did when I first started doing exercises of this nature. And again, if anything continually pops up, it's time to go probably see a medical professional about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. If you are a diabetic, do not do this right after you take an insulin shot. That day you don't do these exercises. You wait a day. Because that can mess up your pancreas.
Even worse, yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up. I almost forgot. I was about to say that before you said the pace thing, and I almost...
Okay.
I was like, whoa, wait. Okay, so those are the beginning exercises for the endocrine glands. Enjoy them. Again, no more than 10 minutes after you've got the circuit completed for at least, the first week. After that, 5-minute increments if you want, up to a half an hour. Don't go over a half an hour with them. And be sure to continue to do the other exercises also.
Absolutely.
You don't just want to jump on these and forget the rest. And the more you do the fundamentals, the easier this one's going to get, and the faster you're going to be able to get through them and get a really wonderful feeling when you're done.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a few other things that could throw a wrench into how you're feeling afterwards, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
But it's not anything massive, so...
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and definitely kick it and enjoy these exercises.
Yeah. And we will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you.